C1. You are listening at FameTV.info. Shixing-san, are you alright? Outside the locker room, a woman in a gorgeous dress with exaggerated red lips and eyeliner was fiddling with her cell phone impatiently with a look of disdain on her face. It's almost done, sister. The woman in the locker room was putting her hands behind her back, trying to fasten her dress strap. It was a simple, elegant, white, fish-tailed skirt. The back was an empty design, and the complicated straps intersected within it. It was the biggest highlight of the entire dress. Ah! Shixing-san was shocked, but she did not have the time to turn around. Behind him was a man. This little wild cat, I've finally found you. The man's voice was magnetic and low, sounding right beside Shixing-san's ears. The hot air it exhaled made her body soften by half. So sensitive. The man chuckled in a low voice and suddenly covered his small earlobes. I'm going to call for help. Shixing-san's voice was filled with confidence, his body desperately running forward, his two hands tightly grabbing onto the man's arm, wanting to shake him off. However, the man's movements were even faster. He directly rushed forward and firmly pressed Shixing-san against the wall. The other hand slipped in from the side of the back revealing outfit and grabbed onto Shixing-san's chest. Shixing-san let out a stuffy groan, her mind completely blank, unable to think of a countermeasure. There was no one in the locker room, and no one in the noisy hall in the distance would hear him cry for help. More importantly, during Time Home's eldest daughter's engagement banquet, her second daughter was almost raped by someone in the locker room. She did not dare bring any scandal to the Time Home. The man seemed to have seen through her thoughts, his hands moving around Shixing-san's body even more unrestrainedly. Her thin lips let go of her earlobes and slowly tasted her smooth neck. Why are you so sweet? The man purposely provoked her sensitive band, feeling the woman in his embrace tremble. He was very satisfied with this response. Sir, the engagement ceremony is about to begin. If I don't go out soon, someone will come find me. Shixing-san controlled his voice to not tremble, and said while pretending to be calm. If I don't go, the engagement banquet won't start. Yes, the man answered carelessly, pulling her dress down. Shixing-san struggled as much as she could not understand what the man meant. Do you know who I am? I am Chu Zhong's wife. If you dare do anything to me, he won't let you go. He hasn't seen her for half a year. Is she his wife? There was a trace of contempt in the man's voice. Shixing-san immediately choked up. How could he even know that? The man's hand left Shixing-san's clothes, and just as she heaved a sigh of relief, she was flipped over by someone in the next second. However, he seemed to have seen this face before. The man didn't care what she was thinking. He lowered his head and directly kissed her soft lips. His lips were pried open. The man's superb kissing techniques made Shixing-san unable to resist it at all. His tensed body gradually relaxed, and his arm changed from holding on to his clothes to holding on to the man's shoulder. After a long kiss, Shixing-san could no longer speak other than taking deep breaths. The gown covering the upper half of his body had already been pulled down to his waist, leaving only his chest to cover the most important part. The man was very dissatisfied with the fish-tailed skirt's design, which tightly wrapped around his legs. He roughly grabbed the skirt and pulled it downwards. Shixing-san was so scared that she anxiously grabbed onto the man's arm. I'm begging you, please don't be here. Then, where do you want to go? The man stopped and looked at Shixing-san. Only now did Shixing-san regain her senses. She was so embarrassed that she was ashamed. Did she agree that this man had done something wrong to her? Shixing-san. Did you die in the locker room? The curtain of the locker room was pulled open. Husband. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.